Massive shout out to Alexander Usyk. Did a fantastic performance tonight over Daniel Dubois, a good young game lad who come from.
This time around it's going to be totally different. I'm gonna win for a start, and you know, we're going to just change history. It's going to be, all eyes are going to be on this. This is the biggest fight in the world, and so.
Tyson Fury shuts down Dubois hype with brutal reality. Czech Daniel Dubois made noise, claiming he could beat Tyson Fury, but the Gypsy King didn't flinch. He laughed. Then with trademark confidence, Fury promised a one-sided masterclass.
Speaking, if I was to return and I was to box Daniel Dubois, I would box that motherfucker's ears off.
If they ever met. No respect given, no mercy offered. According to Fury, Dubois wouldn't even land a glove. That's how a real champion deals with challengers, by silencing the noise without raising his voice. Dubois has been barking loud, calling for a shot at Fury and all the belts. But let's be real, stamping your...
You know, all of that, it's all good for the fight, but I need to show them that if he's going to come back, he's going to have to face me for all the belts. So that's my real priority right now, is getting all them belts and, you know, really stamping my authority on this division.
Name in boxing history starts with beating elite champions. Fury's already done that multiple times. Meanwhile, Dubois is still chasing validation, still trying to prove he belongs. That hunger is admirable, but stepping up to Fury, that's a mountain he's not ready to climb. And just as Dubois' call-out started gaining traction, Fury shut it all down, coolly, calmly, and completely.
It's a fight that I think can happen for sure if I decide to come back and the deal's right and all the other shit.
Reminded everyone that if he returns, it won't be because someone like Dubois called him out. It'll be on his terms. A calculated comeback to remind the world who runs the heavyweight division. Dubois might want it, but Fury decides it. That's real power. That's legacy. As this narrative unfolded, the pundits chimed in. Johnny Nelson gave Dubois credit for believing in himself, riding the wave of recent wins. But confidence doesn't beat champions. Momentum can carry you into the ring, but it won't carry you through 12 rounds with Tyson Fury.
I think he has the beating of Daniel Dubois, yeah. Really? But Daniel Dubois is so strong, so heavy-handed. He's a fighter on the rise that actually believes himself. He's 27 years old. He's now had some back-to-back wins that have lifted his self-belief, self-confidence massively for him to think, damn. You know?
Dubois may feel ready, but he hasn't shared the ring with anyone remotely close to Fury's level. And Johnny wasn't done. He addressed Fury's greatest weapon, his mind. Nelson claimed Fury's mental games wouldn't work on Dubois, but that's a hard sell. Daniel's been mentally...
Because Daniel, you know, Tyson Fury's mind games would not work on Daniel whatsoever. And you saw, and that is part of Tyson Fury's armory when he has a fight. He's got to be able to get into the head of an opponent. He'll either be your enemy or your foe. I don't think any...
broken before. And if fighters like Klitschko and Wilder couldn't withstand Fury's psychological warfare, what makes Dubois the exception? Fury doesn't just fight with fists. He dismantles you before the first punch is even thrown. The mental edge is part of his destruction process. Even Shane McGuigan, Dubois' trainer, sounded unsure. He tried to back his fighter, but couldn't hide
the fighter that Francis Ngannou is. I know he might not have been up for it, but in terms of like athleticism, you know, that will to win, and he's got a boxing, he's got a boxing back.
Hesitation. He questioned Fury's current form, yet admitted Daniel might struggle with the Gypsy King's footwork, pressure, and unpredictable rhythm. If your own corner isn't convinced you can handle Fury, that says a lot. Raw potential means nothing when the bell rings. Adam Smith, caught between respect and realism, spoke on Fury's refusal to accept defeat. He acknowledged that Tyson fought well, but didn't take his loss to Usyk on the chin. And that's perfectly on brand. Fury doesn't do humble losses. He believes he won that fight, and that belief is his fuel. That burning refusal to bow down makes him so dangerous. Once a fighter accepts defeat, he's finished. Fury never has, and never will. Behind the scenes, Fury's camp is already plotting the next big move.
And I'm surprised he's so angry about that. I thought he'd sort of accept it more. That the first fight was really close. The second fight, I thought Usyk won, and won down the stretch. And I thought Tyson would put his hand.
Spencer Brown confirmed what many suspected: Fury remains the biggest ticket in heavyweight boxing. Whether it's a third clash with Usyk or the long-awaited showdown with Anthony Joshua, the demand is sky high. And Dubois, he's not even in those conversations. That tells you everything you need to know. Turki Alalshik, the man controlling the biggest paydays in boxing, isn't interested in Dubois. He's chasing blockbuster events. Fury versus AJ, Fury versus Usyk, those are legacy-defining fights. Dubois, at best, is a footnote. He's still pounding on the door, desperate to be taken seriously. Meanwhile, Fury is shaping the entire heavyweight landscape. Let's be honest, no one's clamoring for Fury versus Dubois. This isn't about who deserves a shot, it's about who sells the shot. And only one man makes the world stop and watch: Tyson Fury. If Dubois gets that fight, it won't be earned, it'll be granted. A favor.
10, 11, 12. It was scrappy, it was messy, and it was just kind of like winning the argument. But when you watch it and score it, gloves are hitting you. It was just busy, wasn't it? It was busy. Sure. But did you feel it was slipping away from you at the end? Or did you feel you was doing enough?
No, I felt like I'd done it. I felt like I was up before the bell had gone. 30 seconds, I only needed 30 seconds rest. I was up off my...
From the king to the contender. And when that bell rings, the difference will show. Fury doesn't just win fights, he ends arguments. Tyson Fury isn't done, but Daniel Dubois might be if he calls again. Tyson Fury hasn't moved on from the Usyk loss, and he's not pretending to. He believes he won that fight, and that belief burns deep. For Fury, that fire isn't bitterness, it's fuel. He's not the type to retire quietly after controversy. He's the kind who turns pain into purpose. Even Spencer Brown, a close member of Team Fury, backs him. He called the fight razor close and believes Fury edged it. That kind of split decision isn't closure, it's a cliffhanger. It's the kind of fight that demands a sequel, not a surrender. And for Fury, closure only comes through dominance. That's why the Dubois callouts feel almost comical. While Fury's eyes are locked on legacy, Usyk rematch, Joshua showdown, or history-defining trilogy.
Start getting through, and he can maybe cause the referee to stop Usyk.
Absolutely. Well, that's only 3 weeks away. We cannot wait for it. You are making me excited about it. I feel on tenterhooks for this contest.
Dubois is out here yelling for relevance. He wants the spotlight Fury built, without having earned his way into it. Spencer Brown said it plainly. Tyson doesn't duck big fights, he demands them. If he returns, it'll be for legacy, not to entertain an opportunist trying to ride his coattails. Dubois can call his name all he wants, but Fury isn't listening. He's focused on revenge, not stepping stones. Still, not everyone is buying into Fury's rage. Some voices are calling for calm and perspective, like Adam Smith, who's urging reflection and acceptance. But that's not how Fury works. He's not wired to politely tip his hat after a loss. To him, every round he doesn't win is a robbery. That mentality, the refusal to lose even mentally, is what's made him such a force. Smith may be surprised that Fury...
Realize who we really are, the world would change. I think the whole world would change instantly. Oh, so much to unpack with that. But right now, I'm going to start with Usyk on the 19th of July. That's where it starts.
And I can see the motivation, man, in your eyes, man. And you can see it.
He hasn't accepted defeat, but that unwillingness to fold is exactly why Fury stayed unbeaten for so long. Where others see denial, real fighters see survival. Fury doesn't let defeat live in his mind rent-free. He turns it into motivation. While Fury plots revenge, Dubois' supporters are clinging to moral victories, praising how good he looked against Usyk. But Fury doesn't care about looking good. He cares about winning. That's the difference between contenders and kings. And as Dubois continues to talk big, the threats feel more performative than powerful. He's saying he'll put it on. Fury like he's fighting a journeyman, not one of the most versatile heavyweights in modern history. Let's not forget, Dubois folded against Joe Joyce. He quit when things got hard. Against Usyk...
He's coming off of a massive win against AJ. Usyk's also on a massive roll, so you know.
He showed flashes, but flashes don't beat greatness. Fury isn't just big and strong. He's smart, clever, ruthless. That combination is fatal for one-dimensional fighters like Dubois. Tyson isn't a stationary target. He's a living puzzle. And history shows Dubois doesn't solve puzzles. He collapses under them. His bravado might excite casual fans, but seasoned boxing heads know this isn't a stylistic matchup. It's a schooling waiting to happen. Carl Frampton said it best, never bet against Tyson Fury. Even as Frampton acknowledged Dubois has improved, he made it clear that improvement comes with an asterisk. Sure, Dubois had moments, but moments don't matter when you're standing across from a man who adapts mid-fight, reads your every move, and takes your soul one round at a time. And Frampton didn't mince words about the last Dubois performance. He was disappointed, not because of the result, but because Dubois gave up. You can spin it how you want, but real champions don't.
Much more dangerous fighter than he was. So he does have a chance to win the fight, but in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times and
quit. When a battle-tested fighter like Frampton calls someone a genius in the ring, you listen. Fury isn't just powerful, he's cerebral. He breaks opponents down psychologically, then finishes them physically. Dubois may hit harder now, he might be fitter, but when the pressure mounts, and the strategy breaks down, Fury thrives. Others panic. That's the gap. Frampton has backed the wrong horse before when it came to Fury, not this time. He's learned. Dubois may talk tough, but walking through Tyson Fury, that's a whole different reality. And no one speaks that truth louder than the Gypsy King himself. When Tyson Fury talks, it's raw, no script, no filter, just dominance. He made it crystal clear. Dubois got handled by both Joshua and Usyk. So why is he acting like he belongs in the same conversation? Fury isn't humble about his record, because he doesn't have to be. He calls himself the only man to beat Usyk. Agree or not, the belief is unshakable. He doesn't live in hypotheticals. He lives in legacy. Gypsy King all day, every day isn't a slogan. It's a fact. He's fought the best, beaten the best. And even when
find out Dubois, so it's quite pointless. The only man who's been able to beat this fucker is myself.
Judges don't see it his way. He's never lost his grip on the division. Fury isn't just the top dog, he's the measuring stick. And if Dubois couldn't take Usyk's heat or last with Joyce, what makes him think he's ready for Fury? This is Tyson's world. Any version of a heavyweight clash still ends with him standing tall. And Dubois better pray this doesn't get personal, because if it does, it's lights out. Even the business minds aren't sold on Dubois' world-level legitimacy. Eddie Hearn didn't hold back. He flat out said Daniel Dubois isn't beating a real world champion. And that's coming from a man who knows what elite looks like. Yes, Dubois is improving. Yes, he's working hard. But growth doesn't equal greatness. And Eddie nailed it. Dubois still hasn't been in a real fight. Not one where his opponent pushed him past his comfort zone and into survival mode. That's what Fury does. He breaks you down from every angle, physically, mentally, emotionally. If Dubois thinks he's ready for that, he's lying to himself. Tyson Fury isn't gone. He's reloading.
I think there's absolutely no way he can beat a world champion and become world champion. But I will say he's improving a lot. He's dedicated to the sport. I don't know how good he is because he hasn't really faced a real fighter yet. It's not his fault.
And when he returns, it won't be for validation. It'll be for vengeance. Dubois just better hope he's not standing in the way. Tyson Fury versus Daniel Dubois. Legacy versus delusion. There's levels to this game. And Tyson Fury lives at the very top. He's faced men who don't just hit hard, they take your soul. He's survived the fires of war against Deontay Wilder, outclassed a generational tactician like Vladimir Klitschko, and stood toe-to-toe with Alexander Usyk in back-to-back masterclasses. That's the kind of battle-tested experience you can't fake. Daniel Dubois, he crumbled under pressure from Joe Joyce. He looked lost against Usyk. And while he talks like he's evolved into a destroyer, there's no proof he's ready for a fighter like Fury. Even Eddie Hearn, who promotes some of boxing's biggest names, can't fully back Dubois as a true threat. He's trying to be respectful, but the subtext is clear. Dubois isn't hardened by war. He hasn't earned that pedigree. And against someone like Tyson Fury, that becomes painfully obvious. Fury doesn't just beat you physically. He dismantles you mentally. He exposes your weaknesses, and leaves no doubt about who's in charge. That's why fighters with less mileage and more hype fall apart the moment they step into his world. This isn't just another title battle.